Hi, everybody, and welcome in. It's Sunday evening on this Memorial Day weekend. It's regional weather meteorologist Matt Wintz. Guys, I want to make this kind of quick for you tonight. Not for me. We've got nothing going on. We just have to get the kids to bed. But for you, I mean, I respect the fact it's a holiday weekend. You've got stuff going on. I don't want to say Happy Memorial Day because obviously, we're thankful for all those that served and kind of recognize that. But I know you've got stuff going on. All right, so I want to make this kind of short and sweet. Let me get through our sponsors real quick. They're just amazing. They're all local to Northwest Indiana. Guys, if you have healthcare questions or anything around life insurance, Medicare, all that nasty stuff that's just so confusing from the government, there's someone that can sort that out for you. His name's Michael Minogue. He's been doing it for years, and he's an expert in that territory. Minogue.life is the place to go. He will give you a free consultation, just chat with you about what you need, what you don't need, regardless of your age. He'll figure that out for you, and he's fantastic at that. So Minogue.life is the website. If you guys have any storm damage from the recent storms this week, or if you have any basement flooding, any problems like that, and you're thinking about filing an insurance claim, don't do the insurance claim quite yet. Go to PSA, which is publicserviceadjusting.com. They are local licensed insured adjusters. And what they do, they come in and analyze the problem first. They'll take pictures right away. They'll send it to your insurance agency, and they'll do all the work between you and your insurance company so that you don't have to deal with any of that. You can go on about your life and all the business you probably have. And they're fantastic. 5-star reviews across the board, publicserviceadjusting.com. Ewing Mechanical Services, they're running a special for 5 more days, actually 4 now that we're almost done with today. They have a special for new AC packages where you can get a new AC. This is an Amana AC, which is great, for $3,900. That's it. That's out the door. That includes labor, all that good stuff. They also do tune-ups right now for $69 if your AC, if it, you haven't run it yet this year, which probably some of us have. Maybe it's on the fritz, it's smoking or sparking. Probably don't want that. They'll come and clean it out for you for $69. And then on new systems, no interest or financing on no interest on the financing for 60 months. That's a long time for that $3,900. Do the math on that. It's ewingmech.com. Tigerplumbing.net, place to go for our local plumbers. They come out for free. They analyze whatever problem you have. If you got water flowing where it shouldn't, they'll fix it for you. And again, they come out for free. You can schedule online. You can schedule on your mobile. It's great. You can see a picture of who's coming. They're wonderful. Everyone raves about Tiger Plumbing. So please support them if you can. Tigerplumbing.net. And finally, last but not least, Grieger's Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Valparaiso. They've been serving Northwest Indiana for a long time. Local family-owned business. They're great. They've got brand new Jeeps out on the lot ready to go. If you like driving a car with the door off, that's the way to go. If you want to keep the doors on, that's fine too. They're great. So great Grieger's Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Valparaiso. Okay, try to get through that as fast as I could. I couldn't. All right, so here we go. Let me say hi to my early birds here. Mary, hello. Thanks for joining us. You're the first one on here. Jeff's with us. Mark, yeah, good race for sure. I'm so glad they got it in as well. Looking at the radar this morning, down in Indianapolis with all that rain that was coming in, I was sweating a little bit, but it did clear out nicely this afternoon. Jill, hi to you. Ethan's with us. Hi, Ethan. Thanks for joining us on our YouTube channel. Linda's with us. Jill's with us as well. Darlene, I appreciate you being on our YouTube channel. Rhonda, YouTube. Rhonda, good to be with you here tonight. I haven't seen you in a while. Susan, good evening to you. Yes, we've got more rain coming. Andrew, thank you for your comment. That's so sweet. I appreciate that. Tom, hello to you. Derek, hi to you as well. All right, we can keep the list going. That's great. Oh, that's awesome. Sarah says, got a new furnace and AC with Ewing last month. Knowledgeable and fair prices. So happy with the experience. Sarah, thank you so much for that. I know they appreciate that too, but I appreciate that. And I want to hear firsthand, and all of you rave about all of our sponsors. So it's good to hear. All right, let me dive in because I told you I wasn't going to waste your time. The weather right now, this system is just wacky. All right. It's a strong low for this time of year. We had all the rain this morning that kind of moved through, and it was coming out of a weird direction, right? We had rain kind of coming out of the southwest, if not south at times, kind of with that line as it moved through. It's just been wacky. It really is just kind of a different system for this time of year, and it's a stronger low than you'd expect this time of year as well. So here's our rain from this morning, moving through Ohio. This is that redevelopment we were talking about in our post today. And we do have storms up towards Chicago right now. I would imagine, and a lot of you have asked me throughout the afternoon, do we have more rain coming? And I've just mentioned it's going to be scattered. It's not a guarantee, and I don't think everyone sees rain. This is going to be our chance right here. This line is actually, you can kind of see this little skinny line that kind of drapes down to the south of that. That's somewhat of an outflow boundary off of, I don't even know if it's an outflow. It's more like a frontal boundary, but either way, it's a boundary. And so what we're seeing is additional development further down to the south. So if I were a betting man, I would say that we're going to get some thunderstorms that kind of develop a little bit further south into Lake and Porter counties here over the next probably hour and a half or so. They should stay below severe limits. Our atmosphere is still pretty primed and ready to go. We've got lots of instability. I can show you all these stuff. But anyway, so that's what we're dealing with locally. I do want to point this out. This large complex of storms down to the south. Oftentimes, when a big complex of storms forms south of us, it prevents a lot of that Gulf of Mexico moisture, which is always trying to flow north. It prevents that from getting up. It almost forms like a wall. That's why I don't think our storms are going to be severe here. Okay. The potential's there. I think if this big complex of storms wasn't downstate, that we could have bigger storms with heavier rain and more of a severe potential. But because this large complex is down to the south, we're not getting a true flow of moisture and wind out of the Gulf of Mexico to feed these storms. Does that make sense? So these are eating all the energy. These go hungry off towards the north. Kind of a way to put it. At least in past experience, that's what's happened. All right. Still, I think these storms kind of bubble down to the south, and I don't think it's going to be a big deal, but we're not done with the storms yet here tonight. Okay. Lake and Porter County, even LaPorte County, if they hold together, those would be the primary spots to get some more rain. But we'll see if they develop further south in the Newton Jasper counties, we get rain there too. I don't think the likelihood is very high on that. The storms down in southern areas of Illinois and Indiana and in Kentucky, guys, they are nasty, especially right here. You see where my mouse cursor is at the very bottom. There, at one point, there were 5 tornado warnings with this. And if you pick this first storm where that town is, they've got 5 more tornado warnings lined up for the same town. Like, that's crazy. Like, they have tornado one of 5 right now. It's just nasty how those storms are all rotating down there. Just not a good look. Okay. Down in Kentucky. I'm not expecting that here. So there's that. Okay. So where do we go from here? This is the latest. This actually is an earlier HRRR model. This is the 18Z. I went back to this because I feel like this is more accurate than the recent one. So anyway, it picks up on this line really nicely. It picks up on this complex nicely. Okay, so let's take this through time. Notice how it does bring some thunderstorm action through Northwest Indiana in the next hour and a half or so for Porter County, probably hour and a half to 2 hours for LaPorte County. Do these storms bubble up further south? They certainly could, but I do think we'll have another round of some downpours here. Should be very brief, not a big deal the rest of the evening, okay? This huge complex kind of takes the cake here as we go through time. Notice how we kind of dry out overnight tonight for a little bit. But then this low pressure really starts cranking up. It's deepening right now. And what this low is going to do is it's going to deepen up in areas of Michigan, just off towards our north. And so what we'll get, not just tomorrow for Memorial Day, but Tuesday, even a little bit of Wednesday as well, is this kind of weird flow out of the northwest that's bringing chillier air in. It's going to bring our dew points down, so that mugginess that we feel outside is going to start to go away. We've got real comfortable air by dew point standards tomorrow, Tuesday, and Wednesday, but it's also going to start to drag cold air in from Canada. And I'll show you some of the numbers in a little bit. But this time of year, especially, once you get in the middle of spring and late spring, and then into summer, anytime you have cold air coming in aloft, it helps to easily produce big bubbly cumulus clouds that turn into cumulonimbus clouds, okay, especially with daytime heating, because that sun will come down, it'll heat the Earth's surface where we are, that heat rises, and it's heating a lot, right, compared to like January. And so it'll be heating us up. So we will have some sunshine the next couple of days, but that sun is going to heat things up. We've got real cold air aloft, so it's real easy for storms to condense or clouds to condense. And what I'm thinking is we'll have numerous, but they'll be scattered, but we'll have numerous shots at rain and storms over the next 2 days. But again, it will be scattered. So you'll have sunshine for a while. You'll see dark, puffy clouds around. And then every now and then one's going to hit you. We could have some hail with these storms the next couple of days. And let me show you kind of what it looks like on radar. So this is tomorrow morning, and watch what happens in the afternoon. See how everything kind of bubbles up? We go from not much on radar in the morning to things start to bubble up. All right. And I can't rule out a severe storm or two out of this. All right. We'll have a northwest flow. Again, hail is going to be a primary threat with these. Could get some stronger winds. Doesn't mean it's a guarantee, but with these storms and the cold air aloft, they've got a lot to work with instability wise. So tomorrow morning looks dry for observances, parades, stuff like that. There will be some rain around, okay? Just some showery action, but nothing organized as it looks right now because we need that daytime heating to get going. Once we go throughout the day tomorrow, that's when we stand a better chance in the afternoon and evening of some of these downpours tomorrow, okay? Very similar forecast to Tuesday. You see how there's just a few showers Monday night into Tuesday, and then notice how we go throughout the day and you see this popcorn-like kind of bubble up nature of these. All of these, again, would be capable of some small hail with them as well, okay? So pretty similar pattern tomorrow that we're going to deal with on Tuesday. And then we'll kind of have this leftover action on Wednesday where I would just call for isolated pop-ups in the afternoon on Wednesday, but we'll still be dealing with this. But look at this flow. I don't know if you guys can see these arrows. There's a northwest flow all the way down into central Georgia. All right, that's tough to do in late May. And this is going to be a really refreshing kind of cool air mass around here. All right, so let's talk rain chances rest of the week. After this system goes by, so here's your Tuesday, there's your pop-ups, okay? Here's your Wednesday, and see how there's still lingering moisture around on Wednesday. Not a real good chance for rain, but we'll still have some moisture and some pops on radar in the afternoon. So pretty much 3 days of the same thing with waning chances of rain on Wednesday. After that, we dry out for a couple days. Imagine that. It's been a while, I know. But here's your Thursday, looks dry. We're starting to develop a flow out of the south. It should be really nice. I think we'll have light wind later this week. We're still dealing with cool temperatures. We're still dealing with really low dew points. So we're really looking at some really nice days. Wednesday, I don't think it's going to be bad, but Thursday is my pick of the week. It looks fantastic on Thursday. Friday looks good as well. We'll still have low humidity around. And then that humidity will start to come back as we get into the weekend. So here's your Friday. We'll have increasing clouds. And then for the weekend, there's going to be a frontal system that comes in. It doesn't look like much. I think we'll have some showers and maybe some thunderstorms with it. But it doesn't look to produce anything severe, at least in my mind. But after that, with that kind of kickstart, is this next system that kind of comes in late next weekend. This one, this would be thunderstorms that are riding along the ridge of heat in the plain states. This is when we need to turn our antennas up for maybe another severe chance, and we're talking a week away from now with kind of a pattern shift. But you see how we turn kind of stormy after that. So that's kind of where it would be. Final thing I want to show you here, guys, and then I'll answer your questions. These are temperatures. Look how cool the GFS is saying for Wednesday, Thursday. It's because that low is sitting there and it's constantly bringing in cooler air from Canada. It's like going further and further north in Canada and dragging cooler air in. So we're cool tomorrow, and then we're cooler on Tuesday, and then Wednesday and Thursday we really bottom out. I would probably go, I mean, we'll see what happens. I would probably go mid 60s. We'll see. But we've got some cool weather ahead. The good news is at night we don't drop too low. We'll get into the 40s both Thursday morning and Friday morning with the cool spots with that, especially if we clear out, which we probably will most nights with the shower action kind of dwindling. But that's not cool enough to have any concerns for plants or anything like that. Even if you have some tropicals, you might want to bring them in those nights. They don't like 40s, but they can deal with a night or two of 40s, especially if the daytimes are warm with some sunshine, which we'll have. So, I know a lot of you have like tropical gardens in the backyard right now. So there's that, but should be okay. All right. And then we warm up and it doesn't look, I don't see any heat waves in the forecast over the next 10, 15 days. I see kind of average temperatures. So we're going to spend a real nice chunk of the beginning of June, it looks like, with 70 degree or temps in the 70s. So that's really nice. And humidity doesn't look too crazy either. So we've got some really comfortable weather coming our way. But again, after this moves through tonight. All right. So let me answer your questions and then we'll get you kind of on your way tonight. All right. I know a lot of you obviously have tomorrow off. So I do too. I'm taking the whole week off. We've got vacation. Kids are out of school now and it's awesome. It's awesome. So that's why we're doing normal time tonight. Normally we're a little bit earlier on Sunday nights. Okay. All right. Tiffany, I see your question on here. Just joined. Is Griffith done for tonight? No, I don't think so, Tiffany. Severe threat looks pretty low, but we're tracking this. There's a little line of storms kind of our last breath with this system, at least for this part of it, the beginning part of it, before we get the swirl part tomorrow. But anyway, there's a little line of storms out towards our west right now. There's a little lightning with that as well. I've seen some small hail, mainly up towards Chicago. This is what this is doing. It's trying to build down to the south. It's not doing a real good job because there's this big chunk of storms down to the further south. That's stealing all the thunder, pun intended. But I should tell you guys a dad joke. I should do a dad joke every day. I do dad jokes on the TV side of things. When I work mornings, we do dad jokes. It was a segment I pitched, and they're like, "We'll try it," and it's great. It's just great. We do a dad joke every day. The other anchor and I. Anyway, I've got like a whole list that I found, and someone emailed me a good one. It was really good. Anyway, I'm gonna save it because I'm gonna screw it up because I don't have it in front of me. But anyway, this line of storms is trying to build south, and I don't think it's going to do a very good job doing so. But I do think we get some downpours through Lake County. So Griffith, I don't think is done yet. Okay, there's that. Jill, yeah, Jill, I was tracking that storm. Jill's talking about some Ohio weather. Jill, really squirrely pattern. There were a couple areas of rotation outside of that as well. Just real weird today having the storms come at us from the south. Just kind of weird. It's a different system. It's got kind of a weird effect to it. So we're done with the tornado threat over in the Ohio area, which is good news. We're still going to have some showers around, a very similar pattern to this. Susan, let's look at them together. What are the rain amounts for today and the week coming up? So today we picked up anywhere from, I saw some spots picked up like 0.35. And some spots picked upwards of 3/4 of an inch. So I don't think anyone eclipsed an inch. I can double check real quick. But that was the rain amounts from today. And for the week, it's going to be highly variable. Let me just get this information for you real quick. Yeah, so rainfall amounts today overall, yeah, they average anywhere. I see the highest on here is 0.72 down towards Lowell. Yeah, and most everyone else picked up anywhere from about a 0.3 to about 0.6. So, half an inch, let's just say that. Now, rest of the week, we can look at that for you. It's going to be highly variable, though. And the reason why is because these scattered downpours tomorrow are going to put down, obviously, heavy rain in some spots. And then the spot next to it's going to be sunny. So rain never, ever, ever falls evenly this time of year. So to give you an amount, I'd rather just give you a range. So here's what we're dealing with tomorrow. Let me zoom in so we can see it a little bit better. These are just model outputs. It doesn't mean it's truth, but what I do as a meteorologist, I look at these for trend, okay, to see like, is there trending a certain area getting more rain than others? So just look how variable it is. And I'll fast forward all the way through Wednesday. We're ranging anywhere from 0.41 to over an inch. It just depends on who gets the thunderstorms. And everyone in Northwest Indiana stands an equal chance at getting a storm, okay, and getting those downpours. It's just impossible to predict at this point who gets them. Okay. Thanks, Angel. That's it. Betty, we'll see if these storms get over to Valpo. We'll see. So you can see, Betty, what I'm tracking here. It's this little line here, and it's trying to build down to the south. The biggest part of the storm's out over the lake right now. Okay. So the odds are that this builds a little bit further down to the south. We've got enough instability here locally. So I do think we get some downpours in Lake and Porter County, but it's going to be a close call. It's not doing a good job building south. So my gut tells me that it would a little bit, but boy, the radar is not very impressed with it. So we'll see. But this would really be it tonight, would be this little boundary right here. Once that moves through, we should be okay. Huge storms downstate, though. My goodness. I told you at the top of the broadcast, there's 5 tornado warnings where my mouse cursor is. And some of those include the same town. So a town is under a tornado warning right now, and they've got 4 more behind that. And these storms are all going parallel. It's unbelievable. So anyway, active weather down there. Dave, you're welcome. I appreciate you joining me for sure. Yeah. Linda bringing up corn sweat. Yeah. Yeah, Linda, it's a little too early to talk corn sweat. I always have the corn sweat discussion. Yeah, just so you guys, if you don't know what corn sweat is, the corn crop, once it gets going out in Iowa and Illinois, there's a lot of corn crop out there, right? Once it gets growing, like once we get into late July and August, once, it's getting high, that stuff puts out evapotranspiration. So it literally sweats. It's not sweaty if you touch it, but we're just calling it sweat because there's moisture coming off of the corn crop, okay, all the time. And what that will do in the middle of summer, like late July, August, is you'll get really high dew points or really high humidity, the highest in the country out in Iowa and Western Illinois, all right, higher than Florida. It's incredible, all due to the corn crop. We'll have dew points out there in the 80s at times, which is incredible. That's just so thick. If you've ever taken a trip through Iowa and stopped in the middle of summer when it's stagnant, you'll be like, wow, it's so humid out here. Anyway, that moisture pools out in Iowa. so it kind of forms a little bubble where you get high dew points, and then we'll get frontal boundaries or systems that kind of blow some of that our way. That's how we get the incredibly high dew points in July and August. Doesn't always happen. It has to do with wind flow, but boy, once that corn crop gets going, I mean, it's not always a great thing for us here locally. But they've gotten some good rain out there, which is good because they had a decent drought. We do not want our corn belt to, be dealing with drought because that affects, corn prices, all sorts of stuff like that. So that's that. Angel says lots of sin and whining. I think she meant rain. That's awesome. It's because Diane said, in whiting, no more sin, but a rumble of thunder over the lake. That's awesome. Then she changed it, said no rain. No idea where sin came from. Autocorrect. That's funny. Thank you for the laugh, guys. That's great. All right. I think I answered everything for you. So, guys, as always, I mean, I know it's Memorial Day weekend. Thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule to join me to chat weather. I do appreciate it. We are not on the radio side of things tomorrow, but we will be Tuesday. X Rock 103.9, Indiana 105.5. And then you've got Z107.1. You've got region weather forecasts every single day on there all day long. So there's that. Okay. You guys have a wonderful evening tonight. Holly, happy birthday. I see that. Happy birthday to you on Tuesday. I hope you have a wonderful day. Jill says, oh, Jill's granddaughter graduated today. Jill, that's a big moment. That's awesome. I hope my congratulations to her and to you too. Kathy, really, is your ground cracking in Chesterton? You didn't get enough rain the other day. I know we didn't get a lot. We got kind of clipped by that storm, but that's interesting. Okay, because everyone else is running way above average. I would have to check localized to see, but yeah, hopefully we get a little shower here. We've got real good chances the next couple days. Okay, for rain in Chesterton, Kathy. So hopefully we'll get some out of that. All right, awesome, very good. Okay. Susan, thank you as well. We'll enjoy vacation. Should be good. Yeah, Sherry got a good soak this morning too. Everyone got a good rain this morning. So I don't know. Check that cracked ground. Maybe it's getting a little bit better. All right. Have a wonderful